Okay, it helps if I turn my microphone on. Um, Welcome to this week's 30-Minute Mentor. And let me know, please, in the chat section if you can hear my voice and you can see the screen. Should say 30-Minute Mentor, June 18th, 2015, which is the day we have here in the UK. Okay. Just waiting for a few confirmations from you, just a little yes or why or thumbs up sign or whatever you want to use, just to let me know that I'm broadcasting okay. You can see the screen and you can hear my voice. Okay, thank you very much, John. Right. Now, I'm going to get started right away. People have a habit of coming late. That's their problem, not yours. So I'm just going to get started right away on this. And what I want to cover today, because I've had a lot of people asking me about sponsoring and recruiting. Now, this applies an awful lot to people that are involved in multi-level marketing or network marketing programs, but it also applies to people who are involved in any program where you also get paid for the results of people you introduce. In other words, there are a lot of affiliate programs out there that pay on two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1, you might get 50%, tier 2, you might get 5%. Some of them pay you 100%. Well, the in both tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. So you might get a 50% commission in tier 1 and a 50% commission in tier 2 or something like that. That would be extreme, because it means that there's nothing left for the person running the program, and they've got to pay fees, and they've got to pay for their running costs, the servers, the programming, and all sorts of things that go on behind the scenes. And if you're paying 50% on tier 1 and 50% on tier 2, that adds up to 100%. There's nothing left for them to do that. So that would be extreme. But you get the idea. So if you are involved in any program where you get paid not just on your own sales, but also through the efforts of other people. This can also happen with pass-up programs. If there are some programs where people have to pass somebody up to get qualified. Quite often it's their first sale, which I think is a bit unfair, because they need to break even as soon as possible, and so they need as much commission coming in as early as possible. And my feeling is that they shouldn't have to pass anybody up until they've got to the point where they're breaking even or making a small profit. But that's just my opinion. But if you're in one of those schemes as well, no matter how it works, no matter how many people are passed up, whether it's 1 or whether it's 5 or whether it's 1 every 10 people or whatever it is, or any combination of things, if you're getting paid for the efforts of people that you introduce, then this is extremely relevant. Now, if you're in just purely direct sales, it's still relevant, because although you're not, strictly speaking, sponsoring or recruiting, you may be recruiting actually, because if you're selling something like a membership program, then I suppose that could be classed as recruiting people for that program. But usually we're talking about sponsoring or recruiting people into a business. But if you're just in direct sales and you're making sales to people and you're just getting paid a commission on the sales you make, this can also be relevant to you, because it goes over the same sort of ground. So, as I say, I've been asked a lot this last week or so about sponsoring and recruiting, so I thought I'd just do a little training on it and help help people make sales. That's what it's all about. That's what this 30-minute mentor is about. No matter what business you're in, we're here to help you succeed and make sales and have fun and enjoy life. Okay, so what are we going to do with this program today? So who do you want to sponsor and why? Because you should always be thinking about the end results. You should always be thinking about what you want as an end result when you're starting things. I think it was Stephen Covey that coined the phrase, start with the end in mind, in his 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Whether anybody came up with it before that, I'm not sure. But I know it's in Stephen Covey's book, one of my favorite books. And so you need to think about who you want and why. Now, if you're in direct sales and you don't care whether they go on and make more sales or whatever, because you're not going to earn anything off them, this part of it is perhaps not quite so relevant. Although if you think about who and why from the point of view of who would want to buy this and why, rather than who do I want in my business and why, then it also becomes equally relevant. Okay, so you need to be thinking about that. So I'm going to look at this mainly from the point of view of network marketing or 2-tier affiliate programs or whatever, because there are essentially 4 types of people that you can sponsor, and 90% of the people that get sponsored are type 1, 5% are type 2, 3% are type 3, and 2% are type 4. And I'm going to run through what those types are. But if you know anything about the failure rate in most online business, and especially multi-level marketing and network marketing, call it whatever you want, you'll know that 90% and more never make a profit. It's about 95% of people never get into profit. So you can perhaps deduce from that that types 1 and 2 are the 95%. Okay, so let's just take it a step further. Incidentally, if you have any questions, whack them into the chat section and I'll do my best to answer them. If they're about this particular training, fine. If they're about anything generally in marketing, that's fine. If they're about programs that I run, I'll also answer those. I'm not here to sell you my programs. I'm not here to influence you to join programs that I run. I'm here to help you make sales. But if you are in one of my programs and you want to ask me questions, you've got access to me here on this webinar, on this live stream, whatever is the correct technical name for it. Well, type 1, this is 90% of the people that get sponsored or recruited into business. And type 1 bring in about, I think the average is something like 2.8 people a year. But we've been generous here. We've got from 3 to 5 people a year. And if you know your pay plan, you know it's going to be pretty obvious that these people never make any money. There are exceptions to that. There are people that are really, really lucky. They just happen across somebody at the right time, in the right place, that is looking for something, and they are a real go-getter, and they happen to sponsor somebody and they go on to become a top producer. So even though they only bring in 2 or 3 people, one of them is going to make them an awful lot of money. But that isn't common. It has happened. It does happen. In my experience, in well over 25 years in the home business industry, I have seen it happen. I've seen it happen in 2 or 3 cases in that time, where somebody has actually made a significant amount of money and hardly ever introduced anybody. But for the most part, type 1 people are the people that come in, they get all enthusiastic, they haven't got a clue, they haven't really got the dedication. Although they say they're committed, they aren't. They're only committed until somebody tells them no, or two or three people tell them no, or the wife tells them they're crazy, they should never have joined, or the people in the at the golf club start laughing at them, or whatever. Because all those things happen to people in a home business. And if you're in a home business, you'll know that it happened to you. And if you're thinking of joining a home business, you better be prepared for it to happen to you, because everybody goes through it, whether they become a top earner or whether they eventually drop out with shattered dreams. So that's type 1. Type 2, go a bit further than this. They bring in 4 to 35 people a year, maybe as many as 2 or 3 a month. And they may make a small amount of money from that, but they probably are not making enough to get into profit. And so what they've got really is an expensive hobby. They think they're doing okay. They keep bringing people in. Those people keep buying a little bit of stuff that keeps them ticking over, almost pays their expenses. But people are often dropping out after 3 or 4 months. So the people that they're bringing in after 3 or 4 months are just putting people in at one end and they're dropping off at the other, so to speak. These people hardly ever get into profit, and they make up the other part of that 95% that really fail with their multi-level marketing business. So that's type 1 and 2. So type 3, you can probably guess, bring in a few more people. They bring in sort of 36 to 100 people in a year. And these are the people that start making small amounts of money. Some of them will go on and become better than this. Some of them might be lucky enough in the number of people that they're introducing to find a top earner, just like that person that only brings in 2 or 3 people. The more people you bring in, the more chance you have of finding a top earner. But we can show you how, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can greatly increase your chance of doing that in a moment. But these are the people, they bring in 36 to 100 people a year. They've got a system down, and they know what they're doing, and they keep bringing people in, and they're generating some sort of income. And it's usually maybe $100 a month. It might be up to $1,000 a month. A few of them may even earn, like $3,000 or $4,000 a month. And you'll get the odd one that might even make $5,000 a month. But then they don't really get into the top income bracket unless they step up and become a type 4. And type 4 is somebody that can bring in 100 to 1,000 people in a year, and they can make a small fortune in recurring monthly income. And these are the leaders, and these are the people that are always up on the stage at events. These are the people that have the nice Armani suits and are saying, this business really works. Look at me. I was working down a mine on the coalface 18 months ago, and I just knew I had to get out of it. And so I got into this business and I worked my socks off, and look at what's happened now. I've got a group of 100,000 people in my downline, and my checks are $30,000, $50,000 a month, whether I work or not. So that's these people. And these people graduate from bringing in this huge number to being more selective and learning to do what I'm going to teach you a little bit to do in this session. They start out here and they find that they've got so many people that aren't making them any money. It's the old 80-20 rule, only it's even worse in multi-level marketing. It's, you know, it's not 20% of the people make you 80% of your income. It's more like 2% make you 98% of your income. And they start looking at this and they think, right, okay, what have we got to do? We've got to, rather than go for the volume, we've got to look for the quality. And that's what they start to do, and they start building quality. They're never going to turn people away, don't get me wrong, and they're still going to be able to bring in lots of people. But they are the people that understand then that they've got to bring in the quality. So what type of person would you want in your business? Of the 4 types, do you want type 1, type 2, type 3, or type 4? Well, unless you're absolutely crazy, you want type 3 or type 4 people in your business, because type 1 and type 2 are not going to stick around very long. They're going to be in for 3 to 6 months and then going to find out that they're not making any money from this, and they're going to move on to the next shiny object, the next business, the newly launched ground floor opportunity, whatever. And they're going to do the same there and move on after 3 to 6 months, and that is your churn. And for a while, everybody makes a little bit of money from their involvement in the business, and unfortunately those people are constantly losing money from the business. And this is what I disliked about it, and why I opted out of multi-level marketing. I even tried starting my own multi-level marketing companies so that I could control the pay plan and the way things worked and help people to improve the statistics. And we did improve them, but we still had like 80% who just never got anywhere. So it was a big improvement, I suppose, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And so I gave up some highly lucrative dealerships because I didn't want to be in the position of making money from people. I wanted to be making money with people. So, as I say, what you, unless you're crazy, want are types 3 and 4 people. But where are you going to find them? How do you find types 3 and 4 people? And this comes back to something that I try and teach consistently and constantly. And this is fish where the fish are feeding. It's no good fishing in the wrong pond. It's no good fishing in empty ponds. It's no good fishing in ponds where the fish have already eaten and they can't eat anything more, because it doesn't matter how juicy that worm is in front of them. If they can't squeeze it in, they're not interested. So you've got to start with the end in mind. You've got to think about who you want in your business. And when you've thought about who you want in your business, then you've got to think about, where are they? How can I locate these people? And there are lots of ways, but one of the ways that is most effective is simply to search Google. And this isn't a new trick. This isn't something that is, wow, you know, Graham thought about this, and you know, because it's not. This is something that I know top leaders start doing, and this is what takes them to that next step up, and that next step up, and that next step up. So how do you go about searching Google? Okay, well, in the search area, you put in a company, plus call me, plus area code, plus, and those asterisks, okay? And the company can be any company. It doesn't matter what company you put in. It can be Avon, it can be Amway, it can be Herbalife, it can be any company you choose to put in there. You put in plus, call me, plus area code, plus, and then you put in the asterisk like I've put in. Now the area code is best if it's your area code. So if you're in Las Vegas, 702, for example. Because if you can build locally, there's no problem in building globally, but if you build locally, your business will grow globally anyway. And if you build locally, it's so much easier because you can bring your team together and you can have meetings every week, every month, every day, whatever. You can say, let's go down the coffee shop and have a chat. Let's meet in the bar. Let's all go out for a meal. You see, it's so much easier. And you build that rapport and you build that team spirit and everything starts to work and there's synergy that starts happening. You can even set up an office together if you want. If you want to get out of your home because you feel you could work better by saying, okay, I'm going to work in the office at 9 o'clock and I'm going to be there till 3 o'clock, or I'm going to go there 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, whatever hours you decide. Okay, so you can even set up an office and share the costs with people. So that's the purpose of the area code. You can, of course, explore any area codes, and if you run out of leads in one area code, you can use another area code. And as I say, this isn't new, it's not secret, but it is used by the top recruiters in most businesses. But I've hardly ever seen this taught. Okay, I've hardly ever seen this taught. And what I want to show you are the sort of results you get. Okay, so I'm going to come out of screen share here. And I'm going to go into screen share in one of my browsers. Here we go. And this is the search that I've been talking about. And I've used this and I've put in Avon plus call me plus 702 plus star 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 hyphen star 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 star. And look what comes up. Okay. Names and phone numbers of people that are active in network marketing. Okay. People that are active in network marketing. You don't have to sell them a concept. They're already sold on the idea of network marketing. A lot of them are going to be totally focused on what is going on. But how many results have we got? Pages and pages and pages of them. Let's go to page 10. Okay, they're not so relevant. Page 5, but you will find them all over the place. Page 5, we've still got phone numbers and things coming up from people, and they're getting into this search because it's relevant somehow, somewhere. Okay. So these are people you can call. Now you can also put in place of Avon, you can put in any other company, but you can also put in a company website. So if we I presume let's just see what comes up here. Yep, Herbalife has a website, herbalife.com. I thought they would have. So here you could, in place of that or in place of Herbalife, in fact, I bet Avon's got one as well. Let's just put in avon.com because you will get different search results for people using Avon.com as opposed to Avon. And if we put in Herbalife, and these are all, don't forget, in this area code 702. Okay, and you're getting their contact information, you're getting their phone numbers, and this is where you can find quality people for your business. Now, let me go back, stop screen share, to the presentation, because that's all very well, but what do you do? How do you get somebody, having got that information, how do you get them interested in your business? Well, the process of sponsoring and recruiting is really simple. And Einstein said things should be made as simple as they can possibly be and no simpler. And I can't really make this any simpler than showing you this process. 1, you invite people to look at your business. 2, you show them a presentation. And 3, you follow up with them. Okay, that is how you sponsor and recruit people into your business. You invite them to a presentation, you present to them, and you follow up. What are the best ways of doing this? The best ways have always been direct contact, getting on the phone, calling people up. And most people won't do that. When people ask me for the best way, they don't really mean the best way. They mean, what's the way that I can sponsor and recruit people into my business without doing any work, without speaking to anybody, without contacting anyone other than by email, and probably not even giving them my name, because I don't really want people to know that I'm involved in network marketing. Okay, so that is what people are commonly asking for when they say, what's the best way? The best way is to get on the phone and talk to people. The second best way is to message them in something like Facebook and get into a conversation with them on Facebook. You need contact with people in some way. There are ways that are automated that you can do this sort of thing, but you'll need a lot more people to go through. The more you automate the system, the more you take yourself out of the system, the greater the number of people you will need to put in at the front end, because you won't get the same results. Okay, if you get on the phone with people and you start learning how to present to them, how to invite people on the telephone, and that in itself, I could spend a week training you on that. But if you learn to do that, you will start closing 2 out of 3 people. And if you phone 3 people a day, that means you'll be bringing in 60 people a month to your business. And these are type, you will get some 2s, you might get the odd 1, but most of them will be type 3s, and you might be lucky and get a type 4. So let's just take it a bit further. If you're inviting this type of people, you need a plan B. Because if you're contacting people that are already involved in network marketing, and you say something along the lines of, I see you're involved in a home business. I hope you're doing well with it. Are you open to looking at an additional opportunity that can create extra income for you without it impacting what you're doing now? And they're going to say yes or no to that. And quite often they're going to say no, and that's why you need a plan B. If you get people that say yes, then you say, great, and you want to get some commitment from them at that point. You don't say, great, go here. You say, great, I've got a short presentation I can send you to that will explain everything about it. If I send it to you, will you take the time to look at it? It lasts 7 minutes. And you want a yes from them there. And if they don't say yes, say, okay, thanks for your time, I'm off. Okay? If they say yes, say, okay, that's great. Now you want further commitment. You say, can you tell me when you would be able to watch this 7-minute presentation? Can you watch it straight away, or will it be tomorrow? And then you shut up and you let them give you an answer. And when they've given you an answer and they say, oh, well, I can't look at it today or tomorrow, but I can probably watch it on Saturday. Okay, so you're going to watch it on Saturday. And they say, yes. You say, fine. Would it be good then if I called you Saturday evening, or would Sunday morning be better, just to follow up with you and answer any questions that you might have? Okay, you want a commitment and you want a time to get back to them. So this is plan A. Okay, this is the people that say yes, and these are going to be few and far between. But when you do get one, that's how you handle it. So as a plan B, these are the people that say no. You say, okay, great. Then they'll probably say, no, I'm already involved in something. Oh, that's great. No problem. I'm glad you're doing well. What is it you're involved in? And they say, oh, I'm involved in Herbalife. Oh, great. Yeah, Herbalife. I know the program really well. Good program. Now, I don't want to distract you from that at all. But, and I don't really know where you're at with your business right now, you know. But if I had people with network marketing experience that might be open to looking at your company, are you in a good position to work with new people? Now, how many of the networkers that you've come across are going to say no to that? Only the crazy ones. You don't want crazy people in your business. If I had people with network marketing experience that might be open to looking at your company, are you in a good position to work with new people? They're going to say yes. And this is why you need a plan B. And what that plan B has to be, we haven't got anything in there. What that plan B has to be, and I'll go into something along these lines in another training. It has to be a site that is generic. It has to be a site for getting leads. You might be in a lead building business as well. You might be in, I can't think of the names of them now. There are lots of different plans that are downline builders for multi-level marketing companies. I can't think of, MLM Pro is one, I think, MLM Pro. There is My Pro Leads or something like that. There are quite a number of them. And you need a plan like that that you can hook people up into. And not all of them will join the additional plan, but a lot of them will do, because you stress, you know, I don't want to distract you from your business. I'm glad, you know, I don't know where you're up to with it at the moment, but I know you need to keep focused on it. I don't want to distract you, but I can show you how you can get people. And by the way, when you join, I'll show you how I managed to get hold of your information, and you probably get a laugh out of that. You know, keep it light. Because most people, as I say, won't know this technique. Okay? And so they'll be interested. I wonder how you did get hold of me. Where did you get hold of me from? Okay? So you have that plan B. What you do with your plan B is you follow up on people and you help them with that plan B. You help them get recruiting. You help them get building their business through plan B. You help them get their downline into plan B and help them building your business. And what are you doing? You are building rapport and trust with that person. And when they change, when they feel the need for a change, when they either want to add an extra income stream, or the plan they're in at the moment they lose faith with for whatever reason, because they change the pay plan, or because they fall out with the products, or whatever reason. There are lots of reasons why people start looking around, but when they do, where are they going to come to? They are going to come to you. And these are the people, these are where you'll get your high level 3s and 4s from. And that is when you'll start seeing your business exploding. And that's what I wanted to talk about in sponsoring and recruiting. Now, you can apply this to direct sales as well, because depending on what you're selling, you might be selling health products, you might be selling whatever, but you can find people by doing Google searches in a similar way. Just be a little bit inventive. You can find people on forums, you can find people in all sorts of different areas. It's just a case of opening a dialogue with them. And there are ways, as I say, of automating this. And I'll perhaps run through some of the automation in another training sometime, some of the ways that you can do what people want when they ask me for the best way. The best way is the one I've told you now. Get on the phone and talk to people. But if you're definite that you're not going to do that, if you're not going to talk to people, you can also, as I say, do it through Facebook. You can chat to people on Facebook and do it that way. And that's very effective. I built one of my businesses, which still produces me 12,000 a month, and I've not really worked on it for 18 months, by doing that on Facebook. Just finding people on Facebook, using similar type of search, finding people, getting to talk to them, and putting them through a presentation and following up with them after the presentation. Now, I would put people through a 3-stage presentation if they had the time, and these presentations were I think they lasted about 20-25 minutes each, and there were 3 of them, and then there was my sales presentation, because there was sort of some pre-sales. The whole thing probably took 4 hours, and if they had the time, I'd do it all in a day. I'd say, okay, watch this. When you've watched it, come back to me, and I can hook you up with the next part if you want to take it forward or answer any questions. Okay, so they'd go away and watch that, and then they'd come back to me and I'd say, okay, what did you like about it? And we'd have a little bit of a chat about it. Say, have you got time to watch part 2 now? Yes. You're going to watch it right away? Yeah. Okay, here it is. Bang. If they said no, okay, get in touch with me when you can. Okay. And as I say, I was bringing in 2-3 people a day, ranging from minimum of about $50 up to around $5,000 in their spend. And my commissions were from about $20 up to about $4,500, and some of it was recurring. So that is what you need to do. It's simple. You need to invite. We can go through presentations and we can go through follow-ups as well, and we perhaps do those in the next coming sessions. Have we got any questions on anything from anybody that is here now? I can't see any questions there, and we don't have that many in the room. I've not broadcasted this, but the people that are here we had 164 people registered for this, and we've got a very tiny percentage, that like 2%, that are here. So very, very poor turnout, but I hope that's been useful for the people that are here. I hope that you got value from that. And if you have any questions, now is the time to ask them, because if you don't ask them now, I'm going to go. It's really as simple as that. When I do go, I'm going to direct you to my email training course. It's free. There's no, and it's not promoting any program or anything. It's just helping you, and you'll get lessons on a regular basis by email, directing you to the lessons, and there'll be videos and stuff that you can follow. And it's designed to take you from absolute ground zero, or maybe even below, because we've got to dig down to put the foundations in. So we're going to go from ground level down to start with, dig down, put in some foundations, some strong foundations, and then show you how to build your business on top of that. And this is generic. It's for you to prosper online. It's not pushing any particular multi-level marketing or business opportunity or anything like that. So I'm going to direct you there as we leave here. If you want to see replays, we have replays always at sawp.com, sawwp.com/live. If I knew how, I could put that in here. Let me just, my web sawwp.com/live, enter. Okay. You can get replays there. You should also get emails directing you to replays. And if you go to my YouTube channel, which is sawp.com/YT, you'll find lots and lots of training on there as well. Okay. Have we got any questions? There don't appear to be any questions there. As I say, I hope that's been useful. Anybody found that useful? Be nice to know if what we're providing for people is good information. I'm going to give this just a couple of minutes to see if we get any questions coming in, and then I'm going to leave and get on with doing things that make me money rather than make you money. Hopefully, by attending these sessions, these 30-minute mentor sessions, you will get value and you'll start to change the direction of your business online. You will start to join the people that are actually making money online. Okay. I don't see any questions. I don't see any feedback. So I'm going to call it a day at that. And thanks, Selma. Glad you enjoyed it. And I'm going to redirect you now and stop the broadcast. And if you're in my Monday mentoring, you've got to be a gold member in one of my plans there for that. I'll see you on Monday. And if you not, then I'll see you next Thursday and we can progress on this. We can take it a step further. But I hope that's given you something, food for thought. You can get 2, 3, 4, 5 leads a day easily, quality leads we're talking about, at no cost, doing what I've told you today. Okay, that's it from me. God bless you all, and thanks for being here, and take action.